So to help you out whenever you're working on your portraits, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick little trick that you can use that might help you see the values and the colors that are inside of a portrait. Now, if you have Photoshop, you can do this as well. There are some apps out there that might work for you, but if you do not have access to Photoshop, if you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, you just want a quick, easy answer, the way to go is to download a program called GIMP, G-I-M-P. GIMP is kind of a free version of Photoshop. It's open source, so there's nothing illegal or weird about it. I just did a quick Google search for GIMP, and I went to their website. Here it is. You'll see here up at the tip top, we've got a download button, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, I'm running on a Mac. If you're running on a PC, it will do the exact same thing, but your actual download process might be a little bit different. So depending on how you want to, you can either download it as a BitTorrent and download it through a BitTorrent client if you have one of those, or easier, you can just download directly. The file isn't small, but it definitely is not a massive file by any means. It's not a mega huge file that's going to eat up all your data. So I hit download. You see mine kind of popped up down in the bottom corner. It's going to take about 5 minutes to download, and whenever it does that, I will go ahead and walk you through how to open the program and how to begin. So there you go. Okay, so once you've downloaded that file, I'm going to go ahead and click and open it up. I'm going to be using a Mac for the demo, but you could totally do the same thing with a PC. You open up that file, and on a Mac, you go ahead and just drag this application into your applications folder. It will load, and then you can go ahead and open it up. On a PC, you'll actually just open the .exe file, and that will do the same difference for you. You're just downloading the program, and then you're opening it. So on a Mac, I'm going to go click Launchpad and open up GIMP. This is the most recent version, but they're pretty good for updating, so keep an eye on that. It works exactly the same way as Photoshop does. All the tools, everything are still there. They might be in a different location to not worry about copyright law, but they'll do the job. I'm going to do File and Open. I'm just going to go ahead and open up the photo of Booker T. Washington that we just used for our previous project. And you can do this with a color photo, doesn't really matter. I'm going to click up at the top here, there's the word color. So we're affecting the way that the color and the values work. I'm going to click Exposure. Depending on the kind of picture that you have, you might want to overexpose it slightly to really bring up the contrast. So the Booker T. Washington picture is black and white, but it's kind of grayed out a little bit. So I can raise the black level, and you'll notice how the shadows get really kind of crispity crunchy there. And then I can raise or lower the exposure, and that will make it more gray or more really bright and crunchy highlights. So now I've got this much higher exposure, this much higher contrast. Again, click on Colors, come down, and I'm going to click on the word Posterize down at the bottom. That's the one you're looking for. Over here you can see there's a little tiny number next to these little arrows. The lower the number, the less that I have available, the least amount of colors available. So right now I've got 4 different values available, 5, 6, so on, and every single time you'll see that whenever you raise it up, you'll still get more and more definition because there's more and more value. And just like we're talking about with painting with shapes, it works the exact same way. You start with smaller, lower numbers, and just like you can see here, just like kind of our middle stage, you've got your shadow, your midtone, and your highlight, and they all work together. You can just keep working on that. When you're ready to file, you can override it if you want to, but do export as. Do not do save as. Save as will save it as a GIMP file. We want to save it as a JPEG file. So do File, Export. I'm just going to add O2 here at the back end, and that'll save it as a JPEG. Same file name. I hit Save, and ask me to export. I say OK, and it exports, and there you go.